Hey honey buns, and what is up? Today on HoneyBuntv, we will be making a beanbag. So grab your beanbag filler, grab the fabric of your choice, as well as some scissors, and let's head on down to the honey pot so we can do that. HoneyBuntv.
You making me want to spend this money, gorgeous, all on you, girl.
Okay, honey buns, everything that you're going to need is going to be listed in the description box below. I used approximately 4 yards of fabric for the outside and the same amount for the inside, which brings that to 8. And I used about 10 to 15 pounds of shredded memory beanbag filler foam and or beanbag filler with the beans from Amazon. Now, as you can see, I am cutting my fabric on fold with my pattern. And if you want to make your own pattern, the best way that I can describe the pattern that I freestyled and made is half a pizza. Okay, so we know that a pizza is a circle, but when we cut it in half, you have that straight portion and then you have that circle on the outside. So this is half a pizza. I'm gonna cut 4 pieces. Now I'm going to cut 4 pieces for the inside and I'm going to cut 4 pieces for my outside. And as you notice, this is stretchy fabric, and so the stretchy fabric is going to be for the inside and for the outside, and make sure the fabric is the same texture. Now I do have extra, and as I always tell y'all, keep your scraps. You don't know if another project is going to come up and you need some fabric, and this just comes in handy, so always keep your scraps. Now I am cutting the outside fabric. Again, I'm cutting 4 pieces, and then once I am done with everything, I'm going to get ready and sew. So now I'm going a little bit in slow motion. I'm starting with my inside. I am going to put both pieces facing each other, which it really don't matter because they're literally the same on both sides. So I'm gonna put both pieces facing each other and I'm gonna open them up. Now, as I'm showing y'all and I'm going pretty slow, once I put them together, I'm only going to sew around half. So as I stated before, my pattern is half a pizza. I'm going to sew around half a pizza. So I'm going to sew half of this circle right here. So as you can tell, I'm starting right here, and then I'm going to the rights first, and we are only going to sew half. So we're not going to come all the way back up. We're not going to go all the way around. We are literally going to sew just to that half. So what I mean by sewing half of the circle like a pizza, half pizza, is literally this. As you can see, as I'm opening up, it only opens up halfway. It don't open up the whole way. So the same way it is at the top, it is at the bottom, and you can see where my seam is starting all the way around to the half point on my left versus my right. So now that I've sewed the half portion and we only have 2 pieces, we are going to sew the third portion literally the same way. And because we have seams, we are going to line that seam up with the middle of our panel. So as you can see, I'm putting the third panel on top of the seam, and I'm going to go around the half point. And as you can see, again, I'm just showing you here where that seam is and to line it up and only go around half. And you're going to do the same thing for the 4th panel, but the 4th panel is going to be closing the circle. So place it on the half point, but you are going to close it, which I will show you in just a second. So now, as you can see, we have 3 panels, right? And it's going to get time to close it up with our 4th one. So when we get ready to close it up with our 4th one, we want to leave a hole in the middle to put this inside of our other ball. Okay, so as you can tell, see right here, I'm only doing it with 3 panels, so it won't get confusing with the 4th one. But what you're going to do is where these seams are, you are going to start sewing right there and around. That way you can leave that hole. So you're going to start sewing where you see my left starting all the way around so you can have a hole. And I'm just showing y'all how this looks on the yellow in case seeing it on the blue was a little bit darker and a little bit more confusing. But with the yellow, you're just going to sew it half points on. Now, when you get ready to sew your third panel on just like this, fold it over, place it on that half right, and then you're going to match the half up with the first panel. And you're going to sew halfway around, meeting those seams, okay? And the same thing when you get ready to add your fourth panel on to create that hole where those seams stop at. That is where you're going to sew halfway around. But let's focus on finishing up our yellow first. All I'm doing is I'm finishing up my yellow, which I'm just pinning around because I've already put my panel on. So I'm pinning around to show myself where my circle is going to stop at. Now that I've finished both of them, I'm just going to open it up and show you what I mean by circle. You should have a little circle. And I did make a mistake because the yellow circle is bigger than the blue circle, but it is totally okay because I can sew it a little bit more closer. But just be vigilant if you make a circle bigger than another one. When it comes time to close it up, it may give a little bit more of a bulky look. So what we're going to do here is you're going to take your outer fabric and put it inside of your inside fabric. So whatever inside casing you're using, you are going to put that outside fabric inside with the seams facing outside. So you see how the seams are facing outside, not just for the yellow, but for the blue. That's how it should look. Now, this is what I mean by if you do a circle, your outside circle is bigger than your inside circle, because you see I was kind of bulking around and it's getting on my nerves. That's what I mean, but I'm going to fix that. Now, after I done fixed it, we are just going to close that circle up all the way. So we're going to sew all the way around, and we are going to pull that inside out. Now, you see how for my yellow, which is on the outside, it don't got no seams, and the inside has seams. That's what it should look like. Now, we're going to push our inside fabric in our outside fabric. The exterior fabric, okay? And we're just going to make sure that they line up with each other, and that everything is pretty much smooth and not too bulky. Now, what we're going to do is fill our bean bag up. And like I said, I use approximately 10 to 15 pounds. You may get away with using 20 pounds, or you may need more depending on how big your bean bag is. But like I said, I did not want it to be that big because this is also for work. And baby, ain't nobody got time to be sleeping in no bean bag. So I'm just filling it up, which it took me a minute to do. But after we fill it up, I'm going to show you guys how to close it up. Until then, take your time. You ain't going nowhere, baby. Okay, so now that we filled the bean bag up, and I do have a video on my page on how to do a ladder stitch, we are going to do a ladder stitch. So as you can see here, I've already inserted my needle through, and I'm going to start at the bottom with making that ladder. So I'm going to insert it again just so you guys can see, and then I am going to start on my left side and go right, and I'm going to go left, right, left, right, left, right, and then I'm going to show you guys how to close it. But until then, just literally take your time. As you can see that I'm going through, I'm pulling the thread all the way through and slow, and it is pulling that seam together to make it look seamless. Okay, so I am done with my ladder stitch and we have reached the end. So when it comes to the end, all you are just going to do is push your needle through one more time. And then you are going to push it through, creating a knot. So you're going to pull it, and you should hold your hands like this, pulling that needle, and then push that needle through that circle that you have right there that you just created. And I'm going to do it again so you guys can see. So you're going to push the needle through the fabric. Bring it up. Pull the thread and push your needle right under there, right through that loop. Now that should have created a knot. And now that you have a knot, you're going to take the needle again and push it through that little knot all the way down and then cut it. As you can see, the thread is going to fall right down in there. Now I was extra and decided I wanted to put hello on my beanbag with my Cricut. Shout out to Cricut because this came out so cute. And baby, this is how your beanbag should look. I will see you honey buns next time on Honey Bun TV, and I hope you have a great day.